welcome back. It's Gina once again, and I am doing several pages again today. Today I'm taping I have taped 4 index cards together, and I just decided that I would continue adding tape. So I'm just adding some, it's just for texture. As usual, I don't know what I want to do. I just decided in the moment to continue adding tape and to also twist some of the tape so some of it will have even more texture than just the natural texture of the tape, which is in itself, it's lovely. It's a nice semi-rough texture. It's just beautiful. So I'm also dividing some of the tape by ripping it not exactly in half, but just nice rough edges. Also to get some, and I'm also layering some of the tape on top of each other. So there's lots of different types of texture happening with the tape. Today I thought that I would give my page a layer of paint, not gesso, but just paint. And I thought I would add some even more texture by brayering it on. So I'm just using the brayer. I haven't used it in a while. Every time I sit at my desk, I see it. And then when I start to create, I don't look up high enough to use it. But I always think, ooh, I want to use my brayer today, and then I don't use it. So it's quite interesting. So I thought, let's add some paint. And of course, I'm adding black because I just love black. And the page just soaking it up, so it's barely spreading. But the right side has more paint on it, so that side is spreading a little more. So because I added the black and it's created some wonderful dots that spread, I decided to continue with the blue because the card is blue, and then to fade into the white. When I was doing it, it looked like it faded more. Now, not so much. It looks clearly divided. But yeah, the intention was to have it fade into the white. So those were my thinking fingers. I didn't know what else to do. And while I was thinking, I'm just extending the base of my, for where the excess paint would go. I thought I would put down some book pages so when eventually it fills up with paint, I could use that too. Yay, killing some birds with some stones. So now I found a tin cover and I'm just adding some half circles. Well, it's supposed to be whole circles, but for some reason it just wasn't catching all the paint. And so I'm just adding some nice circular marks on my cards, which I actually really love. When in doubt, just add some marks. Just look for stuff you have on your desk or around you and add some marks. It's really, I don't know, art is so relaxing. It's so freeing. Yes, you think, but it's also so very relaxing. Anyway, so I'm drying that. And now I'm going to try to add some more color and some more marks. Not sure what's happening today, but I know I want to keep it more abstract. Not so much collage vibes, but more abstract vibes today. So here I'm just mixing some paint on a piece of plastic, and I'm going to add some using the spatula, just in different places to add some interest and even more texture to highlight the texture that I created with the brayer and with the masking tape. And when I started, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so yummy. Y'all don't know, I get so excited when I see all these raised pieces, bits and pieces come to life with the highlight of the color. I get so excited. It's like I want to jump up and scream, but I want to add more, so I contain myself. And here, even though I stuck all the cards together, in my mind I've already separated it. So there's two parts, the left side and the right side. It's just very interesting. So it's like if I'm working on two separate paintings that are stuck together. So here I'm just adding some white acrylic paint in a couple places to brighten up, to add some white space. Still working on that. That's still a challenge for me. But I'm adding it and I like what I see. I feel happy about it. And I'm just, making some areas whiter than others. I thought a touch of color would help brighten it up as well. So I'm adding orange because I know orange and blue looks good together. So I'm just adding some orange in some areas, and it slightly overlaps onto the left side because my intention was still to tie both sides in, yet make it different. So it very slightly overlapped because I still wasn't sure if I wanted it there and how I was going to incorporate it on the left side. So yeah, that was interesting. And I found it wasn't very opaque. So I felt like I needed to keep adding more. So I dried it and then I added another layer on top. I added white to help make it more opaque, meaning that I was going to add another layer of orange on top. So that's what happened. And then of course I brought in my black. So I'm just using my fine liner bottle, where this is the one that the tip is inside somewhere, but I still use it because my paint is inside. So it's kind of halfway dried and I'm just using my brush. It's mostly dry. I'm using the brush to just gently feather it out. Don't want it too much, I kind of still want the line. So I'm just doing that with some of them, and then with others I'm going to add more and feather it out some more. And here I realized I made a mess. I always seem to do this. I always pick up paint and just have it, and in places it's not supposed to go. But yeah, I decided at this point that I would separate it. It's clearly two separate pieces. I'm trying to decide which way it should go, how I like it, but I didn't know, so I just put it aside and decided to work on this side. So I'm adding white on this side as well, because this side is very dark, just in some places, but more to highlight the circular shapes that I put down, which I really, really enjoyed. So I didn't plan to really to make it stand out too much, but as I started working on it, of course one thing leads to another, and I was like, yeah, I'm feeling this looks really nice. It feels good, because sometimes when you're doing art it feels right and it feels good. So I just kept doing what felt good. And yeah, so I'm just gonna work on these circular shapes, highlighting it, and I decided to use my fingers because it wasn't blending the way I wanted it to. My finger just felt like the right choice, and it worked. It felt great, and it did what I wanted it to do, which was smooth it out, feather it out, and just make it not so harsh, but kind of more blend in. which is, yeah, that's definitely what I wanted. So now I'm going to add some charcoal because my circles, they kind of, I felt like I really wanted them to stand out now because I added the white. So I'm using the charcoal on the edges to darken the edges to help it pop some more. So I'm going to spend some time smudging these with my finger, and then I'll get fed up, and because it didn't feel as precise as I needed it to be, so I found a Q-tip and I'm using that instead to gently feather it out. So now that I'm done that, I realized that my white lines are gone, so I'm going to put them back. And I think it would make it pop more, and it did. Oh, when I moved that one, oh my goodness, I was just like, yes! It's like, I don't even know how to explain, but it was just like a pop. When I'm watching movies, I make loud noises, like, whoa! That's what happened. So now I'm just, I went brave and I cut it because I said that was my intention. So I cut it, and it's really for my book, right? It's for my book that I'm using for my 100 days. But I really love these pieces so much. I didn't want to use it afterwards. It was so strange, but I really did not want to use it. So I'm just using the other pieces of card to block the areas that will not be stuck down, because I want to visualize how it would look on a page. Where I should cut, if I should cut it, how I should cut it. So and then I'm looking to see what remains after I cut it, to see if I want to cut it. Yeah. And then I'm trying to find out where should I put it. So I decided this would be it. I didn't want to cover up this base because I found it so nice. But I went brave. I did the top, the same shape as the top of the page, because why not? And I was like, Gina, just do it. It's art, you're going to make some more. Just do it. So I went brave and I did it. Yay, I'm so proud of me. This is one of my favorite pages. And this card I love so much. And I didn't want to cover up this card either. So I pulled out my butterflies and a flower. And I thought butterflies like flowers. So I'm going to put a flower and a butterfly on the page. And then I thought I would add a piece of string to connect the two because they like each other. And that was my inspiration for that page. And on the page itself, it really wasn't flowers, but it kind of reminded me of flowers, even though it's brown. But the pattern, I don't know, something about it just made me think of, outdoor and natural and nature. So, yeah, it was perfect. For me, anyway. It's my journal. So, it was perfect for me. So I just, I decided to keep the page, very mellow. And so I used yellow to do the flower, and I thought I would do a red center. Didn't really like how it came out, but I left it. So I'm going to spend some time on that, trying to get the flower to look a little decent. I still don't like it, but I left it how it is because that's the way it's going to stay. I'm just making sure it's dry before I turn my page and go on to my next page. So here I have the piece from the last time. I pulled out this picture. I was looking for stuff and I found this picture and I was like, Gina, you know you're not going to use this picture anywhere else, but you really like it. That's why you printed it. So I decided to use it in this journal. So I'm just going to stick her down and add some paint around her, and yeah, it turned out a lot better than I thought it would. It's very simple. I didn't really do much with this picture at all. Didn't enhance it. I didn't add anything to her. I just, put the black and stuck her down so she stands out even more. What I decided to do was add a little color because of the balloon next door on the next page. And I just thought it would be cool to have a little touch of color in the black. And then when I started adding it, it reminded me of smoke. It made me feel like a smoke effect. Whirling? Yes, whirling smoke. So that's what I did. And I just love it. I love it. And so because both pages has blue, it kind of feels connected but very separate and both pages have black. It feels connected but it also feels separate, which I really like that. Maybe it's like if she's going through the door into the other world on the left page. Because, the left side is clearly like another world, right? I'm enjoying my journal. That's what's happening here. So I'm looking at it and I like it. Just want it to dry. And then I'm going to stick the left side down because I didn't stick it yet. And call that beautiful. Gosh, I love that page so much. I love it so much. Oh my gosh. I have to remember to use this to inspire me to do bigger pieces. It's beautiful. I'm just putting a piece of grease paper so that it doesn't stick together. But I need to move on. So I'm moving on to the next page. Don't know what to do. Really want to use this piece. And I'm gonna use it. Again, it's difficult for me to cut it, but I decided to go brave and do it. And I really want to use this leaf. This is a printout that I did. I put it on paper and I cut out the paper, but I put wax on the paper to keep the paper so it would stay longer. It wouldn't mash up as easily. And then I pulled out this stencil that I also made. I used a piece of plastic that you use in folders for your projects. But I didn't know if I wanted to use the men. I wanted to, but it didn't really feel right. And I really wanted to use this flower. So I'm just going back and forth. But then I have this lady too that I've never used because I really wasn't sure how she would look. But I decided to go brave and use her. I'm just going to stick her down, and I still want to use the leaf. So I'm going to fit the leaf in on the right side. I know, a woman and a leaf. It sounds really strange, but yeah. So I did the spray, I'm using regular household paint. If you all try this, I suggest you do it outdoors because household paint is not meant for indoor use. And then I removed the leaf and I used the woman. And I wanted to lift her up, but the paint was still wet. So I was still thinking about it. And that's when I realized that I left the tape on from the leaf. I could not believe I did that. I can't believe I did that. So I messed up the leaf. I really, really liked how the leaf came out, but yeah. And I'm using the cloth to take up the wetness of the paint because I didn't want it to stay, and I liked the pattern that it gave. It gave it a nice kind of rough texture and pattern. It was very subtle, but I liked it so much that I just did it all over the page. And then I moved the lady and I was like, oh, she looks good. First time using her, she looks nice. So I'm giving my page a messy border. Because I wanted to get that piece of circle as well. I really didn't want to, for it to just disappear. And I'm doing some asemic writing on the right side of her. Well, yes, because she's facing, that's her back, so it is her right side. And I thought I would just add some lines to fill in that space. When I did it, I was like, no, I regretted it. But I was like, you know what? It's going to look good. Don't worry about it. And then I'm giving her a messy outline, which I actually really like. And I kept telling myself, Gina, you are going to enjoy those lines on the left. It's fine. Don't worry. It's fine. I just found it was looking too pink and too plain. All the stuff was happening on your right. We needed something on your left. That's all that was. So I like it, and I'm going to stick her down. Trying to get through these pages. And I like it. I really, really like it. So I put my grease paper there as well. Trying to figure out where else I need to do, what other page I have to do. And just the last page. Oh my gosh. And I just didn't know what to do. So I found my brown marker and I decided, because I wanted to keep that little stencil, I decided to just highlight it. I did a very poor job of it because that's not the way it's supposed to look too much. I really did a poor job of outlining it. Tracing it, I should say. And here I made a mistake because I didn't put the paper to block the page. So I ended up making marks on this page and I just went with it and added in some more marks. But that was not how it was supposed to be. Wasn't supposed to have any brown nothing on it. Nothing. But what are you going to do? Just roll with it, right? So this is a stencil I made many years ago. I probably used it twice, maybe. And I thought how cool it would be if I use it today. So I did. And I filled in some. I filled it in kind of halfway and I didn't like it. So I gave it a little outline again. But I didn't want to close up the entire circle. So I found this one looked a lot better. And here I have my bees that I printed out and cut out. So that's my own stencil. And I thought red bees would look cool. Why? I'm not sure. But I thought red bees would look cool. So I'm doing that. And then I'm going to give them some sort of design. Because I found it looked too plain and too red. Here I'm trying to neaten up the bees. I have a nice little red pen. What kind of pen is this? It's a Pilot pen. It's really nice. Pilot pens are awesome. I have the black one that they have from long time. I use it sometimes, but I try to use it sparingly because I don't see it anywhere. I just see the red for it now. It's called Pilot High Tech Point number 5. Yeah, I was in school and I used to see, they used to have it like in abundance. Now I don't see it anywhere. So I'm most likely going to have to look online. So I found the brown circles were too brown. So I just added some white dots in the middle. And I felt a little better about it. And then I'm trying to highlight the bees some more because I found that they were clearly, obviously disappearing in the background because of the colors. So I was just going to highlight just around the bee, but then I ended up doing all over the place. See, it was just supposed to be just immediately around the bee. I didn't want to highlight to push all the rest of the page into the background because I really wanted those brown circles to show. But then I was like, you know what? I'll just do the whole page minus the left side with the flower. So, yep, this is me just saying, look, I'll just do it. I'll just do the whole page. So that's what I'm doing here. And I felt better actually after I did that. I did. So this is me now trying to add some detail. And at this point I was thinking, Gina, what crap are you doing? Since when bees look like that? What are you doing to the bee? You're spoiling it. And I couldn't help myself. I just kept going and I kept trying to fix, quote unquote, trying to fix it. And then I was thinking, how do bees really look? I've forgotten. I should get something to look at a picture, but my phone is what I was using to tape, right? So, and when I opened the red, the paint just plopped out of the bottle. I don't know. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. So this is me editing my bead and heating it and then trying to undo it. And then halfway through saying, you know what? Whatever, yes? Yeah. That's how I felt about the bee. And this is when disaster strikes. So I decided to move on to the bigger one, and then I put these 2 dots in the middle of the head, and I was like, no, it looks like he's flying upside down. So I tried to move it and put it more to the sides and front, so that looks better. Yeah. Oh gosh, I had such fun with these bees. They took me a lot longer than I really planned, than I expected, and much longer than I wanted. But so now adding some little splashes, which I just love. Some watery red. And I didn't really find that was enough. It didn't feel like it added much. So now I decided to add some watery red to the background itself. And I was like, yes, this feels so much better. My red was finishing, so I'm just adding some more. And then I have some yellow on my block there, so I thought I'll just add in some of that yellow as well. When I first did it, I was like, ooh, that's strong, that's too much. But it's like, Gina, well, you already added below, so you have to balance it off and send some on top. So that's what I did. And I decided that was it. I'm going to number my pages. So I made a mistake. I ended up having 2 page 14s. I have since corrected it. Because when I was done, I had up to page 18. But it didn't make sense because I had only 1 double page. And each booklet's supposed to have 20 pages if it's one-sided. I really didn't consider if I do double pages. So I may have to do another book in order to get to my 100, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So I'm numbering my pages. That was supposed to be 15. This one is 16. Is that right? Gosh. Then we have 17. Now remember, I stamped it wrong, okay? So that's 17. And the lady going out the door is 18. And the back page is 19. I'm struggling. It's stamped upside down. Oh gosh, these numbers give me so much trouble. So it's actually 17. And then the lady's gonna be 18. And this back page here is 19. And that's the end of the book. Well, my first signature. So on to the next one in my next video. We shall see how that goes. So yeah, I'll do a little video, a short one with a flip through. Although every time I do it, I flip through the whole book looking for my pages, but I'll still do it just in case. So here we go. This is 16. Is that right? Yeah. 15. Oh. And then this is 16. 17. The dots came in after because it was a mistake. 18. Love this page. I just love it. Oh, tell me which ones y'all like. Let me know. And 19. Yay! Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to your comments. Bye!